Hey guys, I'm just gonna fly through Tuesday's home workout with you. So mobility work, first thing we're gonna do is just a couch stretch. Okay, so couch stretch we should all know we can either do up against the wall or we can do it with our foot on a chair or bench, whatever it might be. Okay, so I'm just gonna demonstrate it just up against the wall. So it is placing foot against the wall, letting that foot slide all the way right down, trying to stay up as nice and as tall as we possibly can, squeezing my glutes, tucking my pelvis under, rib cage is down, and then driving those hips forward. Okay, if you feel like you increase the stretch, you can place something underneath this leg or just raise up onto your tippy toes as much as you can, and then that way I can feel the stretch increasing a little bit down to the front of my quad. So you're just going to hold that for about 45 seconds on each side. Then we're just going to go into a goblet squat, into a Jefferson curls. So taking your weight, whatever weight it is you have, okay, getting into your squat stance. Remember, keep your squat stance the same as you would, okay, if you were doing a normal bodyweight squat or whatever it might be. Is that okay? So getting into that squat stance, dropping all the way right down, staying up nice and tall, okay, keeping those knees out, okay, using the elbows just to keep the knees pushed out a little bit. Okay, you can just add a little bit of pressure just to open up the groin and the hips as much as you can. So we're going to stay down in that bottom position for about 45 seconds, standing up nice and tall, switching my weight around. You can hold it this way or that way, bringing my feet in, shoulder width apart, tucking my chin in. Okay, and then from there, head is kept tucked in between my arms. Try and learn how to control your rib cage as well. So really trying to get as much depth out of that stretch as you possibly can. Remember, this is not a hip hinge. This is just allowing your body to collapse over, using that spinal flexion as much as you possibly can to increase the stretch on your hamstrings. So okay, so about 45 seconds in excuse me, in each position with that. And then the last thing we're going to do is what we call milk pours. Okay, so I've done them once or twice in the gym. Okay, not sure we've actually done them in lockdown just yet. So taking a weight pretty light. Okay, so if you don't have something really light, okay, you can just grab a household object, even literally a carton of milk, okay, or something will be perfect for this. So it is called a milk pours. So you're going to hold the weight out in front of you like that. Okay, so that's the way we want to hold it out. And I am simply, as if I was pouring a jug of milk, I'm going to rotate all the way down and then back up. All the way down, controlling and back up. So all that movement is coming through that shoulder joint. Okay, as I turn that weight to pour down and back up. So alright, so you're going to do 5 on each side with that. Remember, you need this is fairly light, okay, with the weight. So even with that kind of 5, I'll probably find that's it's borderline just being perfect, okay, maybe even a little bit on the heavy side. Okay, so grabbing something, as I said, even a milk carton would be perfectly fine, and just doing that and controlling that movement all through the shoulder joint. Is that okay? So 5 on each side with that. Then from there into our Metcon. Okay, so our Metcon today is 15 minutes. Okay, as many rounds as possible in 15 minutes. So we've got 3 movements. Okay, each one of our movements is for 20 reps. Okay, so first movement is alternating jumping lunges, if you're able to, obviously. So a jumping lunge obviously is switching from side to side. Going through the switch is a jump from one to the other. Okay, if you can't do that, you're just going to do alternating. So with jumping lunges is stepping down. Once I get into that position, I am jumping into the opposite side. So you jump into the opposite side. Okay, if you can't do that, it will just be the same. We'll just step back, 2 feet back together, step back, 2 feet back together, or if you prefer doing forward lunges, you can do that. So jumping lunges is what we're looking for, 20, so alternating. Okay, if you can't do that, it is just regular lunges alternating. So we'll do 20 of those. Then we're going to do 20 single leg deadlifts. Okay, so 20 single leg deadlifts, 20 single leg RDLs, whatever way you kind of want to call them, really. Okay, because most of us aren't going to have access to a weight that we'll be able to get down the floor and keep correct position. So really it's kind of like a single leg RDL. Is that okay? So single leg RDL, remember it is a hip hinge movement. Okay, so I'm going to take my weight, I'm going to plant that foot onto the ground, soften the knee, okay, and then remember it is a hip hinge. So I want to get all the way right back, extending that leg back. So weight is just going a couple of inches below my shin, all the way back, keeping my back nice and flat all the time. So you're going to do 20, so you're going to do 10 on each side with that one. Is that okay? If you struggle with that, or if you struggle with single leg work, okay, and you just want to make it a little bit more accessible for you, we can just do 20 actual deadlifts, okay, 20 RDLs. So we're just going to get in, holding my weight, 2 feet staying, okay, all the way down, so about a couple of inches just below my shins, up, pushing my hips through at the top, all the way over. Remember, keeping that chest up. It is a good hip hinge. My back is nice and flat, and up. Is that okay? So single leg deadlifts is what we're looking for. Okay, or if you can't do that, you are just going to do regular. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to do is 20 push presses. Okay, so 20 push presses. So ideally, everything today we're looking for is, okay, single arm or single leg kind of work. Okay, so a push press, taking that weight. Okay, and from there it is a dip and drive. Remember, with the push press, it is dip, keeping weight in your heels. Okay, so you don't want necessarily where feet are coming off and you're rocking back, but what we definitely don't want, okay, is when we go down, is this happening where heels come off the ground, we're being pushed forward. Okay, so when we come down, I have to think about almost that I'm sliding my back up and down along a wall, weight is going through my heels, and then there's explosive movement up to punch that weight through the ceiling. So a dip and punch, okay, down and punch, okay. Remember, don't turn it into a half squat, quarter squat, or anything like that. It is simply just a dip and drive, okay. And remember, don't be doing this, okay, when we're finishing in that position. It is full extension all the way right up, and my lats become nice and engaged in the movement all the time. Arm is alongside my ear. Is that okay? So it is 20 push presses. You can do those 10 on one side, then do the 10 on the other side. So it is 15 minutes alternating jumping lunges is ideally what we're looking for. Then it is 20 single leg RDLs. Okay, so again, you can do 10 on each side with that. And then it is 20 push presses. You can do 10 one side and then 10 on the other side with that one as well. 15 minutes, as many rounds as possible. That's it, guys. That is Tuesday. Hope to see plenty of you on Zoom at 10 o'clock. And if not, make sure you try, log on and do it in your own time. Talk to you then.